The World Poker Tour. The biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The WPT is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With millions of dollars on the line, it's time for these 5 players to live the dream of fame, fortune, and the one thing money can't buy. A WPT title. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to San Jose, California for the conclusion of the Bay 101 Shooting Star Tournament. I'm Mike Sexton alongside Vince Van Patten, and this is the WPT.
And Mike, the Bay 101 has always been known for its wild play, and this year has been no exception. And it was the self-proclaimed greatest poker player in the world, Phil Hellmuth, who took the wildest ride.
I'm having fun.
He started the night near the top of the pack. But quickly fell in a spectacular series of hands.
I don't know, Phil. We were getting along so well yesterday. Now you just suddenly start insulting my play.
Come over the top of me like 4 times. You won every pot, and you busted my balls about what exactly?
Hellmuth, a huge favorite to double up here. Oh, an ace on the river.
He did it.
A dagger in the heart for Phil Hellmuth.
He ended this tournament wallowing on the floor, out in 6th place.
Big money, a career-defining title, and that coveted WPT bracelet are all on the line tonight.
And we are not leaving till we crown a champion, so let's go watch the bluffing begin.
Well, we're down to 5 players. 3 of them are in their 20s, and they're right now sitting in 1st, 2nd, 3rd chip position. Andy Seth, our chip leader. McLean Karr in 2nd place. Dan O'Brien in 3rd place.
All right, Andy's are going to be 3,000. Lines 10 and 20. The winner getting close to 900,000 here at the Bay 101 Shooting Star. They're all happy. They knocked out the great Phil Hellmuth last time. Let's go to the felt. Actually, on the former day trader, Dan O'Brien.
Looks down at an ace-queen.
He got it in good, though, man. He sure did.
That's what the best players do.
He's going to raise it, makes it 48,000 to go. Into Hasan Habib, who quickly folds his hand.
Now around to our chip leader, Andy Seth. He finds 2 jacks. He's got the fish hooks. So far, he's been by far the most aggressive player at this final table. And he's going to raise here with the 2 jacks.
That makes it 141. Our hometown local, Matt. He's going to fold.
Over to McLean Karr. He's a graduate of the United States Air Force Academy. He folds as well.
Yeah, he got in this tournament through a $1,200 satellite. What an effort that is.
Now back to Dan O'Brien. Now Dan knows Andy has been very aggressive at this final table.
Come on.
He's moved all in here.
Can you count it? Total, please.
And Andy says, how much is that?
Yeah, the former day trader says, I'm going to make an investment.
905.
I'm going to gamble.
Well, Dan started this pot with about 900,000. Andy started with over 2.9 million.
I called.
Well, he's gotten called.
Well, he's going to make the call. Even if he loses this pot, he's going to be our chip leader. But as it is, it's what we call a classic race situation. The under pair versus the 2 over cards. In tournament poker, if you want to win tournaments, you got to win races. Let's see who gets lucky here. Dan must win the pot to stay alive. And there's the flop. 10-9-7. Right now, the 2 jacks out in front.
Well, it's good for Andy Seth. He has a big opportunity to crush another player out of this event with that flop.
Yep,
No, absolutely not.
Must catch an ace or a queen or 2 running cards and make a straight.
Jack gives you out.
Otherwise, he's going to be out in 5th place.
Jack's not a
Here
bad
comes the turn.
Jack is a bad card for me.
Oh, a queen comes off. He got lucky. Dan has taken the lead, but it's not over because Andy can catch a king or an 8 to make a straight. A jack would give him 3 jacks. So he needs an 8, a jack, or a king. Nothing else will do. Comes the river card. It's a 10. So Dan O'Brien, the University of Maryland graduate in finance, is going to double up.
And Andy Seth, our chip leader, who's knocked Phil Hellmuth out of this. Everything seemed to go so right for him. Finally takes a little hit himself.
Well, not such a little hit. That pot had over 1.8 million in it.
All right, to the next hand we go. Our local Matt goes out. McLean now looks down at a little suited connector. 6-5 of diamonds.
McLean majored in operations research at the Air Force Academy. That essentially is applied mathematics, so obviously a very bright guy.
Well, he raises to 46,000. Dan out.
Hasan Habib folding as well.
Now Andy Seth with an attractive king, queen of diamonds.
Well, Vince, he's picked up his share of cards at this final table, no doubt about it. Just lost a big race, though. See what happens here with the king, queen. He's going to make the call, wants to see a flop. Well, the flop comes 9-4 deuce. So Andy's going to lead out and bet the king high.
Yeah, Andy betting 63,000.
McLean has flopped a gut shot straight draw. 3 would give him a straight. And he's going to make the call with the gut shot straight draw.
Yes, he is. Turn card.
Queen comes off.
Andy gets lucky. Hits queens.
That's certainly going to give him a lot of confidence as we continue to play this hand, as he now has top pair.
But there are 3 clubs out there. Neither player has a club, but still a little scary.
He is going to bet here, 133,000. And part of McLean's problem is, even if the 3 of clubs comes off, you make a straight, but you're scared of 4 clubs out there. So I think this an easy getaway for McLean here.
McLean got into this tournament with a $1,200 satellite.
He's coming over the top, Vince. He's not calling. He's not throwing it away. He is re-raising with a 6 high. Well, there you see Faraz Jaka, a.k.a. the Toilet. He was a roommate of Andy Seth at the University of Illinois. And right now, he is currently the leader for the WPT Player of the Year award. Of Andy Seth here, who's faced with a tough decision.
Well, Andy makes a good call there. He's getting stubborn. He's got queens. We're going to the river.
Well, the ace of hearts comes off. Now, this is a bit of a scare card for Andy Seth because he could be fearful his opponent had the dry ace of clubs and might have just raised him on the turn with that, but now he's got 2 aces where his queens are beat.
Yeah, Andy checks now. It's up to McLean. Nothing materializing there. There's Maria Ho, poker pro and friend.
Well, you saw her on the Amazing Race, and right now, McLean knows the only way you can win this pot is to bet at it, but do you want to fire a 3rd shell with absolutely nothing? The answer is yes. He's bet $472,000, and he's going to put the 23-year-old to the test right here.
A lot of guts to make this kind of bet, and Andy can't take the heat. Fold for hand.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That former Air Force cadet sure played that hand nicely.
We're coming back as 5 players going after close to 900,000 here on the World Poker Tour.
I was in jet training, and I was physiologically eliminated from jet training. Unfortunately, I have a weak stomach, and I can't stop throwing up when we do spin recoveries and stuff like that. So I guess I wasn't meant to fly jets. And after getting out of the Air Force, I found poker, and I haven't looked back.
To play good, I think your emotional life has to be good. You can't have like bad relationship, things like that. In other words, you have to be focused and feeling good about yourself. If you don't, then it gets very hard.
There's war.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. I want to take what he's taking. He seems to be in a very good mood. That is Hasan Habib.
Well, that's his wife Nancy in the crowd. They got married a few months ago. Hasan said he's stable at home now. Life is good. Here he is at the final table, and she's happy about it.
Yep. Play goes to Matt, the local. He folds his hand. McLean Karr also out.
Over to Dan O'Brien now. He looks down at a Queen 8 offsuit.
He's got the button, but look what's behind him.
Hasan has picked up 2 aces here. It's what you dream about.
Dan has raised the pot to 48,000.
Yep, he's going to make a button raise here. And look at this, Vince.
Oh.
Hasan not even raising here with the 2 aces. Slow playing them, as we say. He's hoping that Andy behind him thinks neither one of them have much and might come over the top. That didn't happen as Andy folds. So let's see what develops here. Hasan out in front with the 2 aces. Here's a flop.
Check.
Flop is Jack 10-4. Quickly, Hasan checks.
Yep, Dan with an inside straight draw. That's about it.
Well, you could take the free card off here and try to catch the 9 to make the straight, but will he make the continuation bet?
Likes to take chances, speculate a bit, and he's putting chips in.
He makes a continuation bet of 64,000.
But Hasan beats him to the pot with a raise.
How much are you playing? 370 more.
It's a quick check raise. Hasan tells me he's playing 370,000 more, meaning he's probably pot committed in case the guy moves all in here with the gut shot straight draw. So
Hasan staring him down.
What's that bullfrog thing you're doing?
I'm sorry?
You go like...
I just had a really nice hamburger.
Okay. Too much information there for me.
Dan making jokes and Hasan not thinking it's too funny. But Hasan taking down the pot, nevertheless, with the 2 aces. Feeling good and says, hey, we still got some old school left. Well, there's Prahlad Freeman, who won the WPT Legends of Poker. And look at this. This is Hasan Habib's version of Gus Hansen. Gus, of course, has won 3 titles on the World Poker Tour, and he does that thing with his arm.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's rock this town, boys and girls. Let's rock this town. Let's rock this town, man.
Hasan, originally from Pakistan, now living in Los Angeles.
He's in a very good mood. And why not? But with that hand, the antes are going up to 4,000. Blinds now 12 and 24. Hasan has folded this, but Andy Seth with a king, 10 of diamonds, going to raise, makes it 48,000. The local Matt goes out.
McLean out as well.
48? You know that's a min raise, bro?
Dan O'Brien tells him that's the min raise, as the big blind's 24,000.
I mean, they got to take advantage of this.
Well, Dan has a pair of 3s here. Will he get fancy with the raise? No, just calling.
Well, anytime you get a small pair, you want to see a flop. To hope you flop set where you can bust a guy. When Benson, that could well happen here. He's not only flopped the set, his opponents flopped a flush draw.
Incredible.
Well, he's going to lead right out with the 3 threes.
Well, this could be an absolute war. He's betting 66,000.
And he's got the flush draw events he raised before the flop. He could very well come over the top of him right here. If so, it could spell big trouble for him. But he just makes the call, does not raise with the flush draw. So the conservative play finally by Andy Seth might save him some money. Deuce of hearts on the turn.
And he didn't get his flush there. Action back on Dan.
And a bet on the flop, he got called. He's going to fire again on the turn here. 162,000 this time. Now Andy has the flush draw and the overcard. He's just going to call, does not raise. Playing this hand very conservative and probably wisely so. So 9 of spades on the river. Action on Dan O'Brien. Now, Vince, I wouldn't bet out here because you know your opponent doesn't have an overpair of jack he'd raised before this. Yet Dan O'Brien is going to do it. He is betting.
The bet is 363,000, and Andy looking discouraged.
Someone would have checked in hopes that if your opponent had a draw, he might bluff at the river.
Andy's got to lay it down.
Yep, he does lay it down. So Dan O'Brien taking down a nice pot there.
Right now we have a little bit of a shift of momentum going on here at the Bay 101. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour.
The most aggressive player at this table is Faraz Jaka.
Faraz Jaka is one of the wildest, craziest, and most successful live tournament players I know.
He is aggressive.
He's made a name for himself, final tabling 2 WPT events. Faraz and I have definitely discussed what it's like to play on a TV table and different dynamics that go into it, and the differences between playing a TV table and playing at a normal table and how people react to it.
Number 3, Andy Seth.
We are back here at the World Poker Tour, the Bay 101 Shooting Star. Welcome back as 5 players remain.
Pretty amazing that 2 college roommates have done so well out here in the World Poker Tour. Faraz Jaka, the current leader for WPT Player of the Year, and his roommate now sitting at this final table going for his first WPT title.
All right, to the felt we go. Couple folds around to McLean, Karr, our chip leader. He's also folding, and now Dan O'Brien with a 6-5. And guess who just got a walkover? Hasan Habib.
Well, the first walk that we've seen at a final table, a walk, means everybody folds to the big blind. He gets the pot automatically.
Walk it, baby.
We've never had a demonstration of a walk before, Vince.
It's the last time, Hasan.
Very nice, Hasan.
Walk it, baby. Walk it, baby.
There you go. Hope you enjoyed it. It's the last one.
All right. The next hand we go. A local Matt folding. And now McLean also goes away.
Over to Dan O'Brien. Looks at a nice hand on the button. He's got ace-queen. He's going to raise it to 55,000.
Hasan out.